All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get going. Like I said, this will be recorded, so if anybody has any questions afterwards, needs to drop off early, it'll be shared out with you guys on Wednesday, most likely, as well as kind of the next steps and next information of how to get involved. But today, we just wanted to get everyone together and just kind of give a general overview of what to expect with some of our roles, a little more information about each one of them, and just kind of the general steps of how to move forward. Again, I don't mean for this to be too much longer than about 30 minutes. I know it's all the middle of our day. Uh, my name is Alex Ryder. I'm the Senior Manager of Volunteers here with Special Olympics Washington. Just want to give a big thank you to all of you who have joined us. If you guys have watched my earlier webinar, I talked briefly about this, but kind of the idea of where virtual volunteering came about. One thing I forgot to mention, if you guys have any questions that come up in the middle of the PowerPoint, just go ahead and put it in the Q&A box. I believe there's also a chat box. And from there, I will get to those just as soon as I can. It might be at the end, but I will get to them as soon as I can. And then again, at the end, we'll have a little time for questions where you can raise your hand. But like I said, you guys might have heard me talk a little bit about this before, but really the idea of virtual volunteering. Obviously, we're in a new age trying to adapt with how we stay connected to our athletes, coaches, and of course, you guys, volunteers. So what did that do? It led to the creation of virtual volunteers. And the purpose is to, like just what I said, is to engage us and find a way to stay active right from home. So we're all kind of learning on the fly. These are all roles that I haven't led before, and you guys, a lot of you probably haven't done before. So we're all kind of in this together. And, I think the biggest thing I can emphasize is it's great to hear ideas and thoughts and suggestions. So if you guys have any, feel free to send them my way at any point. And then what does the future hold? Obviously that's $1 million question, and I wish I had the answer to that. We'll talk briefly at the end here about the return to volunteering and what that will look like. But for now, we're going forward with this virtual world and going to make the best of it. So what are our virtual summer games? So the week of August 17th, we're actually going to have a big celebration celebrating our virtual summer games. The athletes right now are competing, training, getting ready to go. There are 4 sports that they can choose from. So we have softball, soccer, athletics, which is track and field, and then golf, as well as that +1 sport is a fitness challenge. So athletes get to choose 2 sports. They can also add the fitness challenge so it doesn't count to their sports, and compete in some drills. So for golf, it might be playing a nine-hole round. For softball, it might be a home run derby, all kinds of fun things that our athletes are going to do right from the safety of their home or near their home. And of course, there's a ton of other ways to get involved. I would suggest all you guys go check out the website for it. So it's soavirtualgames.org. It's a lot of fun, so many exciting things going on, and we really hope to have a lot of athlete involvement and engagement in our virtual summer games. So that leads us to our virtual summer games roles. I have a guest with me. His name's Ethan. He's going to walk you through a few of these first virtual roles.
Awesome, thanks, Alex. Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone can hear me just fine. I'll get the ball rolling here with the roles that we have. We're really excited to kind of transition into this virtual, situation that we're in, and it was kind of hard to move everything over, but we're excited that we are able to continue some roles and also add some new roles that will be strictly over, virtual and whatnot. And the first one would be a social media advocate role. And honestly, the biggest goal for this position would be to get virtual games trending on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, really everything to anything that you see that involves Special Olympics Washington that you see on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, to like, to share, to comment, to retweet, to send to your friends, to send to your family members, to really just to get this information out to as many people as possible, whether it's just fun things about athletes and the videos that they share, and then, or even with other people who are fans of the Olympics, and really just to get information out there as much as we can. And I think the cool thing with this is we can also put together videos and photos that we can compile together that will be in this position, and then we can use those potentially at the end to kind of put together compilation videos and fun, like just memory holders of everything that went on during the summer virtual Olympic Games. I think it would be a really fun thing. So that's kind of what this position would be. And then next, so this is a fun idea that Alex and I kind of put together here, the Mask Up Challenge. And what this would be, so it's a new thing. I think just pushing the importance of how important masks are right now, and the time that we're in with COVID, and just the health of each other. And I think it's really important to show that you care for the health of people around you as well as yourself, and really just the state of Washington in general, and in the country, just so we can get the sooner that we can flatten the curve and maintain the health around the state and the country, then the quicker that we can get back to the physical competitions that we'll have eventually someday, hopefully soon. But what this challenge will look like is it'll be a fun, so face mask is really what it will all be about. It'll be coloring and designing fun ideas and pictures on the masks that you will then share online, either through social media, like we mentioned earlier with Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, using the hashtag SAWA Virtual Games, or to Flipgrid. Alex will talk more about Flipgrid in the next slide. But what this really is, I think it'll just be fun to share that, the importance of masks and what I touched on earlier, just how important they are to maintain the health and the safety of everyone around us. And I think the cool thing would be, and I listed some ideas here, just ideas that you can draw on these masks would be, you can support a specific athlete, maybe someone who would be competing in the games, or maybe some of your favorite virtual games that will be the competitions that will be happening. Alex mentioned golf and softball, track and field. Those could be some themed ideas, or really anything fun that you think would look cool on these masks, and masks that you could use. They can just be ordinary white mask, ordinary blue mask, really anything that you can do. And these could be, you can stitch on stuff, you can draw on the mask, really anything, any way that you think you can make the design on a mask, and then you can share either a video, a photo of you wearing the mask, or just the picture of the mask itself, kind of like you can see on the right screen here. And then, like I said, post it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, using the SAWA Virtual Games hashtag, or on Flipgrid. And if you can turn it in before August 11th, you can get put into the competition. Other than social media and making the push there to send these on social media, we'll also have a on the website, through the actual registration forms, the Mask Up Challenge actually is listed on there, and you can sign up through that as well, and put your information there too. And at the very end, on August 18th, a winner will be decided based off the best design that we choose, and the winner will get a surprise SAWA Virtual Games merchandise item.
Awesome. Thanks, Ethan. I wanted you guys to hear from Ethan. He's been a great help with us here this summer on the Volunteer World. He has had some great ideas in terms of this mask. So if anybody has questions about the mask challenge, just go ahead and put them in the chat box, and Ethan can get to those for you. Jumping into a few other things. So one thing that was mentioned was Flipgrid. So this had been mentioned on our sign up page. And essentially what it is a new platform. So I don't know if you guys have used Flipgrid before, but what it is a place where we get to post some videos and some messages. So essentially, we're looking for things like, what do you miss about Special Olympics Washington? How are you staying positive? What is your favorite memory with us? Anything you want to say to the athletes? What are you looking forward to when we return? Flipgrid's a really cool platform. We have some different Special Olympics Washington virtual game stickers that you can put on your little background. I was able to upload mine on there. We have a few other volunteers joining us. So if you head to the page, so flipgrid.com/SOA virtual games, that's going to take you to our little Flipgrid. And from there, you can post all the messages. Let's see. It looks like we have one question coming in. Maybe not. Sorry about that. So I would encourage you guys to jump over to Flipgrid. It's a lot of fun to go check out and kind of play around with the different messages that you can create and post. These videos will be embedded right into our virtual games web page. So these are going to be live. We're also going to take some of these videos that get created and then put them into different aspects of our virtual games. So a video might be featured in one of our awards ceremonies. It might be featured in our opening or closing ceremony. Just kind of all throughout the week, we're going to try to engage and get volunteers as involved as we can. So post your videos and we'll make sure to get them out there. Virtual fans in the stands. So I know that this one's a little interesting. I know it's a little different. So essentially our thought here is to get people together on a Zoom screen and look very similar to the Brady Bunch here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little script for you guys to essentially follow in this virtual fans in the stands session. So right now, we didn't get quite the interest on tonight's call. So we have a few other sessions that are on TRS right now. We tried to make them, one is middle of the day, one's the afternoon, one's midday. So we tried to give you guys, a few different windows. It'll probably take about 30 minutes long itself. And again, these videos, I'm going to be on them kind of leading you guys through a script. So there's going to be a few different things we'll do, making noise, sharing some messages for our athletes. These videos themselves will be recorded and then also shared out in those videos. The exciting thing is that, as the world has changed, a lot of Special Olympics programs have done, the video submission and those kind of things. But from what I've seen, we haven't really seen anybody kind of get everyone together on a Zoom call. So this is kind of be the first of its kind. You're going to be learning with me. So it'll be a lot of fun. After you select your time, so I know one's coming up later this week, you guys are going to receive the Zoom call-in information and then kind of just the script of what to be prepared for, what to expect on the call. So be on the lookout for that. We'll also be providing you guys with some Zoom backgrounds that you can download and put onto your screen itself to help get in the virtual summer games spirit. So it should be a lot of fun. More information will come as you actually sign up for a spot and then you get the link to join. For those of you, maybe you have a group of 15 or more, I would say even 10 or more looking to get together for kind of your own personal virtual fans in the stands. Maybe it's a company you usually volunteer with, a group. Just go ahead and email me at awriter@soa.org and we can set something up for you guys. I'm super flexible on the time, so just go ahead and reach out to me and I'll gladly put something together. But it should be a lot of fun. Like I said, we're going to be learning together, but it's going to be a cool experience and kind of the first of its time. Here are those fans in the stands times. So we had to get rid of the one this afternoon, but we do have another one coming up on the 17th. Again, it's this midday time. And then we have a later evening one on July 21st. And then again, on July 23rd, we have the early morning crew. Again, if we see interest for more times, we'll go ahead and plug those in and, more times might be added throughout, and I'll be sure to send that email out letting people know. But for now, these are the times we have. And again, I encourage you guys to jump on them. They're not going to be probably even the 30-minute time slot that they say. We should be able to knock them out pretty quick. But like I said, we're going to have a script where we follow just kind of engaging, interacting. And again, we'll take these videos and put them through our content throughout the week. One other volunteer task during these virtual games is surveyed. This one just got added. So the details are still kind of being relayed, but essentially volunteers are going to be assigned a list of athletes to call and ask our annual survey. A lot of our athletes aren't able to get internet access, maybe fill out the survey that way. So it's a great way if you've missed interacting with some athletes to be able to give them a call. You can use this as a way to not only do the survey, of course, but also just kind of connect with some athletes. And it's always great to hear from them. A lot have been missing out on competitions, obviously, so it's a great way to interact. Like I said, this one just got added. So for any of these, you can log back into your TRS account and go ahead and add any other events by modifying your schedule. Leading a class or demonstration. So this one's a lot of fun. I know a lot of our volunteers have some great skills out there. Maybe you have a skill in cooking. I'd love if somebody does some magic shows. Are you great at leading a workout or maybe a dance class? We'd love to have you guys share that skill as a live class during the week of our virtual summer games. As you can see, I took the plunge myself about a month ago and led a live workout. It was a ton of fun. Probably one of my most, exciting experiences in this whole quarantine process. It was great to do. So if you guys have any skills that you'd love to show, again, magic, it could be a dance class. Let us know. Let me know by emailing awriter@soa.org, and we can find a time to get you scheduled. Super flexible. Again, that whole week of the virtual summer games, our goal is to have something pretty much all throughout the day. So if a 11 o'clock works for you, that's great. If a 5 p.m. works for you, that's great as well. So cheer cards. So this is going to be another exciting thing. So what we're going to be doing is, for those of you who have signed up for this role, we're going to be sending out some blank cheer cards to you. And I will be getting in touch with those of you who have signed up for this position if you would like your cheer cards virtual in just a PDF format, or if you would like them actually mailed to you. Then from there, you have a few options. You can either make your cards online, you can print them out, you can draw them on hand, and then you can either post them to Facebook, on Flipgrid, on kind of all of our social media platforms, or you can mail those back to me, similar to what we do with our letter writing campaign, and I can actually mail them out to our athletes. So it's a lot of fun. As you can see, this was one of the designs that came in, kind of a little hand-drawn design, but it's really fun. Like I said, I'll be reaching out to you who have signed up in the cheer cards position and kind of gauging what works best for you, whether it makes sense for me to send you a copy or to actually mail them out. It looks like Mark asked a good question in the chat. So he asked how large these are. We actually have two different formats. So we have the normal, just kind of printer size paper, 8.5 by 11, and then we also have 11 by 17. I know a lot of people obviously don't have the capability at home to print 11 by 17. So in that case, you know, that's an easy one for us to send out. So, but generally both sizes we have. All right. So some other virtual games roles that we have. So we have our Spirit Week participation. So you guys know the themes are Medal Monday, Teamwork Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, and Famous Friday. So again, you know, we encourage you guys, this is a great opportunity to post on Flipgrid, post on Twitter and Facebook using the hashtag, and just, you know, all the athletes and coaches and teammates will be participating in this Spirit Week. We want you guys to feel a part of it as well. So go ahead. We're going to have more information about each of the days as we kind of approach and kind of what a Teamwork Tuesday actually means. But we encourage you guys to wear that stuff, post it on Flipgrid. You know, again, that's kind of the thing I emphasize the most. And Ethan brought it up at the beginning where, you know, we really want the engagement to fall on that Flipgrid page, on that Facebook page, Twitter page, and just as a way to interact. Obviously, we're not able to be in person and interact with our athletes that way. So hopefully we can do it that way. Opening ceremony viewing, so more information about the specific time will be coming soon. So for those of you who have signed up for that one, stay tuned. I'll have more information about that soon, but it'll be a live, essentially a Facebook live viewing of our opening ceremony. Some of our ongoing virtual roles, I know a few of you guys actually signed up for these ones as well. I've covered these briefly before, so I'll go through these pretty quick, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of a little more of a background on some of the other virtual roles that we have. So our virtual wellness coordinators, what they do is they play an essential role in implementing healthy community programming statewide. What this person does is they're going to be facilitating weekly virtual conversations around health and wellness topics with athletes and unified partners. These calls will go for 6 weeks long, so it'll be once a week for 6 weeks. And it's, you know, we do have a curriculum for you guys to follow, but also a lot of it's up to you. You know, we have a virtual wellness coordinator who leads some dance classes, so that's kind of the back half of her sessions. We have another one who's more into weightlifting, so that's kind of the back half of their session. It's really just a way to engage with our athletes, teach some healthy lifestyle choices, and, you know, maybe lead a workout or two. The virtual wellness coordinator also directs athletes, families, and caregivers to needed health services and resources during this pandemic and beyond. And of course, we'll provide you guys with the training and all the resources for that as well. The requirements for our virtual wellness coordinator will have you pass a background check. Experience in a health or fitness field is great, you know, but that's pretty vague. You know, we had one person who was a collegiate athlete. You know, that's a great experience as well. You're going to be meeting online 1 day per week for at least 6 weeks. You know, if you're having a great time, we can obviously extend that, get you to a new group. The sessions last about 30 minutes, and just kind of the lead up to it, the only other training is to take a 30-minute orientation. And then kind of the last step will be reporting back key learnings and the lifestyle changes observed to us here at SOA. Again, with kind of the fitness going all throughout it, we are looking for people to host our live workouts. Those are Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Like I said, that was one of the ones that I did. It's a ton of fun. We've done a little bit of everything from Zumba to yoga to some more core strengthening days. They usually last about 30 to 45 minutes. So again, if anybody's interested in hosting one of our live workouts Wednesdays at 4, please email me and we'll get you going. And again, if you just kind of have any workout videos or tips and tricks that you love to follow, go ahead and share that with me or post it on our Facebook page. And then that way we can interact with our athletes and build that healthy lifestyle. So some data analyzation. I know a few of you guys have actually reached out to me about this one. You saw it on the website. Essentially, we have two kind of projects with it. So we have one, which is this area leadership team data project. This is an example we stole from Special Olympics Illinois, where they're really taking a better look at each of their areas. They call it regions, but essentially, you know, we're trying to get a better grasp on, you know, what does our population look like? What is that income? What is the demographics just of our general areas? So that's a project on the area side. And then of course, here on the volunteer side, we have with about 14,000 volunteers, we have all kinds of data. So I'm always coming up with new projects and new ideas for how we can best look at our data. So essentially, if you reach out to me, a project is going to be different every day, but I'd love to have you join us. For more information on that, just go ahead and email me. But both of them are a ton of fun and just kind of a way to better understand the population we serve and, you know, that serves with us. Cooking skills. So, you know, again, I'm sure like most of you guys, I've been cooking and baking a lot in quarantine. If you guys have any great recipes that have been getting you through, just go ahead and email me. Essentially, I go ahead and take your little recipes and put them into some formats that go out to our athletes in the form of emails. We actually had some people put recipe cards when they wrote letters to our athletes. So that was a ton of fun. Just kind of sharing out healthy recipes. We've actually had a few people feel really inspired and actually create videos of them making recipes. This was a ton of fun to see. They're getting shared out with our athletes as well, but these are a ton of fun. So if you want to use the experience of kind of making your own video, cooking, whatever it is, go ahead and share that with us, and you know, we'll get those out to the athletes. Just kind of tying back to our virtual wellness coordinator, these cooking skills are also a great thing. You know, if maybe you're on the fence about being a virtual wellness coordinator, this is a great thing. You know, you don't have to lead a workout necessarily. You know, maybe one of your sessions is cooking a healthy meal. So just something to keep in mind. Robotics field creation. I'm not sure if this sound will play. Go ahead and play it anyway.
With a 4.5-inch bezel.
All right, so hopefully you guys could hear that. I'm not sure if you could or not, but I will send the actual link and resources for those of you who had signed up for this. Essentially, we're looking for about 8 robotics fields to be created. we will reimburse you for any of the expenses that you incur for the fiberboard and the paint. So essentially all you have to do, I know Home Depot and Lowe's, those type of places, I believe the fiberboard was about $20 last time I looked. And essentially just send us the receipt and we will reimburse you for it. But it's a lot of fun. Essentially, we use these unified robotics battlefields each year, and we kind of need some new ones. So we'd love to have you guys join us in kind of an arts and crafts project. And then, you know, I'll share out more information about how you can actually get involved with unified robotics and learn a little bit more about it just in general. But it's a lot of fun, kind of, you know, use your hands a little bit, get arts and craftsy. And again, I will send this link out to those of you who have registered for that position. Translation of documents. This is another ongoing role. From time to time, we need a document translated to another language, usually Spanish. Just let me know how many documents you'd like a stab at, and I will send them your way. The biggest thing is not to worry about formatting. I can take care of that on my end. But this was one that was created for us. So essentially just email me and let me know if that's something you're interested in. We always have needs to translate, like I said, mainly into Spanish. Technology training. If anybody out there feels like they're really great at kind of getting a handle on technology, we could use some people as an athlete leader host, athlete leadership training, essentially helping facilitate those sessions and, you know, kind of being the point person for technology. If that's something you guys might be interested in, contact Leah Schaffner, our initiatives manager, at lschaffner@soa.org. Another thing, kind of on our end of things here at the volunteer world, you know TRS, our registration system, really well. I'd love to have a video of a volunteer walking through the process of registering so we can easily share that out with other people. Are you great just kind of in other assets of technology? We're always looking to better utilize the way we use technology, especially in this virtual world, to let me know. You know, one thing that came up is Microsoft was able to build essentially a virtual awards arena for us in Minecraft. I don't know too much about Minecraft, but essentially they have the framework of the arena built. We just need to be able to use it. So if anybody has a great experience in Minecraft, I'd love to hear from you. We can get you plugged in with that. Letter writing, this is kind of one of the last ones here. So for letter writing, you guys will have to supply your own notepads and postage if possible. We'll coordinate the drop off and pickup. Essentially what I will do, so you'll say maybe I want to write about 15 letters. From there, I will give you a list of athlete names. Since we're not able to actually give out the athlete addresses, I'll just have to shoot you over a list of names, and then we'll go from there in terms of the drop off and pickup back to me. A lot of times it seems like it's worked best, you know, in kind of the cases of about 15 to 20 letters to just mail them to the office. And then I go in about once a week and actually mail them out to the athletes. Really just looking for things like messages of encouragement, what your favorite Special Olympics memory is, what do you miss about events, what are you looking forward to? Like I said, we had some volunteers add in recipe cards to their little cards to athletes, so it's been a lot of fun. And it's just a great way to touch base with athletes. I know we've had some people even include their return address on the cards, you know, making some pen pals with the athletes. It's really just an exciting thing. So if anybody's interested in that and signed up for that position, I will be reaching out to you to see how many cards you'd like to write and then kind of the next steps on that, as well as giving you a list of athlete names. So volunteering at the area level. So as part of our TRS page and the survey that went out to you guys was a little information about gauging the interest of returning to play and volunteering at the area level. So to give you guys a timeline, I know it's a little bit small, but kind of the way that we're looking to do things here. So of course, you guys have all seen this by now. I feel like I've said the term phase about 75 times a day, but of course, here is the state's 4-phase plan. Since we serve such a vulnerable population, we will be entering a 5 and 6 plan. So once your area reaches phase 4, that means you can apply as a Special Olympics program to enter our phase 5. From there, we're going to allow groups of 5 to 50 to get together. So it's going to take a little while. Obviously, we have to get to phase 4 before we can actually do that. But once we do, certain areas can apply for phase 5 and have some groups, smaller groups together. In these groups of 5 to 50, we might have some small area events. Maybe an area gets together and plays a soccer game or whatever it might be during that time frame. From there, I will be let know of the needs of volunteers. It could be 5. It's going to be small, and I will coordinate that out to the people who are interested in volunteering with us. And in just a second, I'll talk about the different safety protocols that we're going to have and making sure everyone's safe, from our athletes to our volunteers. But that's kind of how that process is going to work. And then finally, after area has been in phase 5 for about 3 to 4 weeks, and everything's looking good, we can enter our SOA phase 6, which is return to normal play. So what is your local area? I just wanted to give you guys kind of a breakdown. Again, I know I apologize, it's a little bit small, but what exactly your area is. So if your Cascade area, you guys are going to encompass the Snohomish, Whatcom, Skagit, and Island counties is the way that that breaks down. King County, you are your own area. You're a little bit bigger, but just wanted to give you guys kind of a breakdown. Certainly we're going to have some areas reach that phase 5 and 6 before others, just the way that the state is progressing. So we'll see when we get there. Of course, we will communicate out to all our volunteers just as soon as we start to reach those phases. What to expect next time you volunteer. We're going to have most likely a no contact temperature check upon arrival. That is likely what is going to be required from Special Olympics. Of course, a mask will be required as per the state. We're going to have just a brief question. I'm sure a lot of us have seen this if you enter a store or something like that, just making sure that you haven't had any potential exposure or symptoms to COVID-19. And then the last thing is, as much as possible, we are going to ask everyone to pre-register ahead of time. I know this can be a little bit challenging, so I will be reaching out to volunteers as we approach events to troubleshoot any of those issues and make sure we're getting it covered. And, we're going to be doing things, we'll be putting plexiglass in places. As much as possible, we're going to encourage families to volunteer together. You're already going to be kind of in your bubble of volunteers, so we're going to keep you guys together as much as possible. This is kind of just a very brief look at the things we'll do to keep you guys safe. But of course, we're going to have many more steps. We want to make sure you as volunteers, and of course, all of our staff, athletes, family members are all safe whenever we do get to return to play. Volunteer credit hours, just as a whole, do you need volunteer credit hours for school, or if your corporation matches? Any of these virtual volunteer opportunities will count. You can just email me an estimation of the hours you completed and I will verify. If you have a form that your school or company uses, go ahead and send that to me and I will sign it. Otherwise, I have some forms from Special Olympics Washington that I can send out as well. Again, my email here is awriter@soa.org. So what comes next? So if you have any questions about your role, feel free to contact me at awriter@soa.org. This week, you're going to be receiving emails specific to what you signed up for. So expect those either tomorrow or Wednesday. So maybe you signed up just for Fans in the Stands. You will be receiving information just about Fans in the Stands and what's coming next. Maybe you signed up for letter writing. You're going to be receiving an email just about letter writing and what's coming next. So be expecting to receive, a couple of emails from me this week. I'm going to try to condense it as much as I can. But you're going to receive that specific information about what to expect and the next steps in your role. And again, I just want to emphasize, I'd love to hear any other thoughts you guys have. My line is always open, so I'd love to hear from you. An update on fall season will be coming later this summer. I know I've been asked about that a few times, so I wanted to give you guys, as far as I know, we're just kind of going as we see. So an update will be coming later this summer on that. Like I mentioned, there's a potential for smaller local area events, to kind of start kicking us back off. We're not going to be jumping right into 250 person events. They'll start smaller for sure. Of course, the biggest thing is to stay connected. You know, Twitter, Facebook is great, but of course, I encourage you guys to go onto that Flipgrid page and join us on that. It's a lot of fun. Feel free to contact me at any point at awriter@soa.org with just any questions or thoughts that you might have. That is all that I have. I just wanted to thank all of you guys so much for jumping in to some of these virtual roles. It's really exciting, so I really appreciate it. We are open for questions. You can either put that in your chat box and the Q&A box, as well as raise your hand, and I would be happy to get to anything. Yes, I was asked for the Flipgrid information. 1 second, I will type the Flipgrid information in the chat box. Does anybody else have any questions? Right, let's see, to all attendees. All right, so I just added the Flipgrid page into the chat box. All right, does anybody else have any questions? Feel free to raise. Looks like we got a question here. Yes, absolutely. We just got a question asking, since it's virtual, is it okay to be from anywhere? Absolutely. You guys can volunteer from absolutely any point. Anywhere is great. We love to have anybody. The more, the merrier. So absolutely. All right. Let's see. Any other questions in the chat box? Looks like that might be it. Well, thank all of you guys so much. Again, just a huge thank you. This is an exciting time. It's a different time, but we're looking forward to it. Exciting to see the great things that you volunteers come up with. You guys are always so great to work with. I appreciate it so much. Again, my email is always open, so I'm more than happy to touch base with any of you guys. And again, you can expect a little bit earlier, a little bit later this week with more information. Let's see, it looks like Mark had a question. Yes, so Mark, we will be able to share out a list of some athletes who will be participating in the virtual games to cheer on. We should have the registrations done here shortly, and we'll be able to actually kind of sort out based on your local area, what athletes, what teams, and all of those great things are participating. So we'll be able to share that out with those of you and fans of the stands, those posting videos, and those doing cheer cards. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'll stay on here for a couple more seconds if anybody wants to ask any questions, but that's all I had. Thanks, everybody.